So we've got an amazing trading week ahead of us as stocks are now trading at key make it or break it resistance levels, and they are already struggling to break above those levels. With that being said, I am going to show you how to trade the best setups at the best prices. I am going to show you how to determine if it's going to be a bull or bear trap heading into this week. This is going to be a very lucrative trading week because we are at such an overreaction key make it or break it level where if you're on the right side of this trend, you're going to be set in a situation to make a very nice profit. So I'm going to show you how to trade the best setups at the best prices, guys. I'm telling you, in terms of setups and key levels, this has been the best it's been of all of July in terms of especially put options. You know, for someone who did nothing but scalp put options last week on SPY, going 20 to 22 on the win rate, 22 trades, quick scalps, 20 wins, 22% gain on the portfolio. Like, in that situation, if you're looking at the 5-day chart, most people probably think, you know, you lost money if you bought put options on SPY. I was scalping in and out at the key critical levels within minutes, making a quick 10% gain here, 20% gain here, compounding the account, rinsing the profits with a cash account. With that being said, you know, since we're at such an amazing level and it's already struggling to break above this amazing level, you know, I should be more aggressive. I'm gonna be a little bit more aggressive into this week. I'm a size slightly bigger, and I'm really gonna try to take advantage of these opportunities. Because if I could do well last week when SPY was mainly going up, I should be able to do much, much better in terms of this week's results. So I'm looking forward to it, guys. The setups are A1. We're gonna be going over SPY, Nvidia, VERU, Pinterest, Tesla, Walmart, Snapchat, META, Phase, Roblox, Apple, and SIGA. These are the top setups, man. I'm telling you, these are A1 setups. You need to put all these stocks on your radar for the most part. You don't have to put Phase on your radar. You don't have to put SIGA on your radar, but the rest you should be keeping a very close eye on. For me this week, it's mainly going to be SPY, but I am interested in a couple stocks this week. So let's kind of get right into it. So let's go over SPY first, right? First things first, let's talk about SPY. So right now, in terms of extended hours, it's not doing too much. It's having a little small micro sell-off. It closed at $395.09 on Friday. Right now, it's at $394.25. As you can see, it kept retesting this $395, which is going to be the previous closing price heading into Monday, and it's been failing to break out at this $395. So these are the two key levels that I want you to focus on heading into this week. Your best resistance level for the SPY put options is going to be at $401.44. That is the best level to be scalping SPY put options. Now, if it fills this gap and forms a red bearish candlestick like this, so basically this is another trade idea I have in terms of swing trading SPY put options. If SPY closes the gap and it closes weak at the lows, it forms a red bearish candlestick, what I will be willing to do right before the market closes at around 3:55 p.m., if it looks like it has a bearish candlestick on the daily chart, I will begin to swing trade puts heavily. That's where I'll be taking the vast majority of my position size in terms of my large account with the swing trades. So I want to bring awareness to that swing trading idea because it is possible that gap could fill this week. Now, let's bring some awareness in terms of our more support level, which is technically a resistance level. It's just a lower level. So on this 395, this 395 level is going to be a key make it or break it level that I want you to be focused on trading at early into this week on the SPY, 395. So here's the deal. If 395.09 reacts as a resistance level, it's forming bearish candlesticks, you know, the bearish dojis, the bearish top wicks. If it's looking like it's weak, if it's struggling to break out, if it's forming lower highs, it's breaking below this, you're going to want to scalp some puts in that case. Once you get the bearish reaction, wait for the bounce back up and get in as close as possible to the previous closing price at 395.09. If we can turn that into a resistance level, we will be on track to crash for the micro. Micro is very short-term focused, in and out scalping, to about 391 to 392. Now, in terms of the level I really want to bring awareness to in terms of support, it's this 391. We have so much support at 391. For those of you who are super bearish, that's the level that has to crack. This is basically going to continue to try to fill that gap at 401.44 overall. If it cannot crack this 391. So what we're likely going to see is we're already seeing a fake out towards 395. We're likely going to see that retest if 395 reacts as a resistance. We're going to see a retest to this 391.60 to 391 level. This is very, very heavy support. We are likely, in terms of quick micro scalping for calls, if you see the bullish dojis, the bullish wicks like this, the hammers, the bullish pins at 391, that is where you're going to want to scalp calls. Ride it back up to about 392.50 to 393, in between that zone, right? That would be the target for that. So what I want you to understand is if 395 reacts as a resistance, which it likely will, we should push down to 391. We're likely going to see a micro bounce. Once 391 does crack, that's when the bears are just in complete control for the micro. That's when they really step in and take over, and that's when it gets ugly. Until once they can turn this into the roof. So basically, once you see how it's reacting as support, it's bottoming, it's forming bullish pins. Basically, once you see it react as the roof, where it cracks this level and then it bounces back up, turns it into resistance, forms a lower high, it turns it into a roof instead of a support, it is going to sell off. We will be on track to go to 385 if that occurs. So these are the levels that I really want to bring awareness to you heading into this week. 395, make it or break it middle level. If it reacts to support, breaks out, it's on track to retest 398.80. Breaks above that, 400, gap fill at 401.44. 395 reacts as a resistance, it breaks down, it's on track to pull back to 391. If we see the bullish candlesticks, we're likely going to have a nice little micro bounce for a quick in and out scalp on calls. Once 391 cracks and reacts as a resistance, that's when the bears are in complete control. Until then, it's going to be a battle at this 391 level and 395. The overall zone, which likely is going to be, is probably going to be 395 to 391 into this week. Bears are not in complete control until 391 cracks, reacts to resistance. That's when it gets ugly. So those are the levels. So make it or break a level, 395, middle of the channel. Make it or break a level, 391, low end of the channel. And in terms of high end of the channel and best entry for puts, 401.44. Those are the trade ideas for SPY heading into this week. Those are going to be my key levels that I'm planning to trade at. So let's break down a couple stocks now. Nvidia is very interesting. In terms of the setup on Nvidia, best thing you could really do with Nvidia right now is look to scalp puts if it goes back to 180.50. There's a gap to fill at 180.50. If you see it react as a resistance at 180.50, I would look to scalp some puts with a max risk of like 181.50. Do not risk a lot, right? The bulls are in control if 180.50 turns into a support level. It starts breaking out. Bulls are in control. Overall direction will be bullish within time to fill the gap at 195.92. Write that level down. Best entry for puts. If 180.50 reacts as the roof, reacts as the resistance, overall trend will be bearish, and we will be on track within some time for a gap fill to 161. Write down all these key levels. We're trying to determine if 180.50 is a resistance level. As of now, it is. You could see right here, it reacted as a resistance level, that level I called out in 2 videos ago. There was a gap to fill at 180.48. For 2 days, it failed to break out, and then it had a nice little micro gap close reversal. The put options printed. So look to do that same trade idea heading into this week. If it bounces back to fill this gap at 180.50, you see it react as a resistance. If you watch my videos, you know what to look for in terms of the resistance, the bearish confirmations. If you're in Trader Society, you see it live on the streams on how we trade them live in terms of the reactions we look for, the bearish confirmations. And then once we get the bearish reactions, we get the bearish confirmations, then we wait for it to bounce back up and buy the puts into the green candles after it's already been confirmed bearish to get the best entries. So that's what I want you to look for on Nvidia. Now, VERU, it's a tough stock. This is a tough stock, man. What I'm thinking on this one is I'm kind of convinced that we're just overall bearish for the micro. I think within some time, maybe like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, overall direction bearish. I could see us going back to right around here. I would value this at $12 right now. I think overall direction, we're heading to $12. It topped out at key major resistance multiple times at the high end of the channel, failing to break out. bearish confirmation, bearish confirmation, bearish confirmation, bearish confirmation, always sells off, always sells off, always sells off, always sells off, always sells off with those bearish wicks, those bearish top wicks, those bearish confirmations. You know our favorite bearish confirmations at the top end of these channels, right? So I would say overall direction, we're heading to $12 within the next 2 to 3 weeks. Another bearish confirmation that triggered on this, we triggered dark blue on the squeeze. When you see a stock at resistance and this triggers dark blue on the squeeze, vast majority of the times it's going to start to sell off. Let me show you exactly what it is I'm talking about. Here's some major resistance on VERU. Right here, it starts to trigger dark blue at this resistance right here, dark blue, sells off, right? So I just want to bring some awareness to that. I think it's going to be a tough setup. It is a potential swing trade on my radar. Not going to be an easy one, but it looks overall bearish, I would say 2 to 3 weeks from now. Pinterest. In terms of Pinterest, you want to pay attention to this one. Check this out. There was a gap to fill on Pinterest at 1725. For those of you like playing calls, check this out. It filled the gap, consolidated. First green bullish candlestick, rockets to fill the gap above. Rockets even higher, right? It had a gap close reversal right here. So we're now at the low end of the channel. There's a gap to fill at 2094. There's a gap to fill below at 1756. So what I'm going to be looking for on Pinterest is I'm going to wait until it can confirm a support level. Once it is confirmed support, I will look to buy calls. If it cracks through initially, I set my price alert again and I wait for a bullish reaction. Once you see Pinterest react bullish at 1756, once it reacts bullish, it forms the green candlestick on the daily. It's consolidating. It's forming the bullish candlesticks, the bullish wicks, the bullish pins, right? You're going to want to look to scalp calls, ride it up, till about mid-18s, right? And then in terms of puts, 2094. 2094 will be the best level for puts. Make sure you guys are setting these price alerts. Some of these alerts I'm giving you aren't going to trigger until August. Some of them aren't going to trigger until August. But in the meantime, we have plenty of great opportunities, right? We're towards the low end of the channel. So in terms of July, this one will likely trigger. But in terms of August, this one will likely trigger, right? So set these price alerts at both key levels. This one's very interesting. This is Tesla. Tesla had a gap to fill at 865.66, 865.65. That would be the best level to scalp puts on Tesla, is at that gap fill right there. But I do want to mention this. We are at key resistance. As you can see right here, this is key resistance at this 845 where it topped out yesterday. We had a member in the chat early in the voice channel. He actually said he was going to swing trade Tesla puts, and he got in fairly early. He's doing very well on those at the moment. But with that being said, it looks bearish. This is a bearish candlestick. It topped out at resistance. What I dislike about it is it hasn't filled the gap yet. That's what I dislike about it. But what I want to bring awareness to is this is a make it or break it level. This is what I want to bring awareness to in terms of Tesla falling off a cliff. This is what has to do. You're bearish on Tesla. You want to short this. You want to buy puts on a nice key breakdown at resistance. This is where you're going to want to do it at. $811 right here, right around here. We'll take the low of this. $813, $813 and $806, these two levels. We turn that zone into a resistance. We start cracking down. We start forming bearish candlesticks in that zone. Tesla goes super bearish. Why? Because look at the daily chart. This is a big gap up with no support, held up on thin air. Once it cracks that previous closing price, $815, there's no support. It's just a gap to fill below. And history shows you how quickly Tesla can drop from this key critical level. You could see once it hit this 845 level in a matter of 2 days, massive red day, lost all those gains, right? So the point I'm trying to make on Tesla here is if we can start to crack, you see this crack 812, 806, you see this crack that towards its previous closing price, it's forming resistance. This will sell off hard. This will sell off hard and start to fill the gap below. You want to see what can happen? This is what can happen. There was a little gap to fill below right here on Tesla. It cracked the key levels. See how it cracks this key level right here? Cracks this, if it can crack that key level right here, big sell-off, right? But it has to crack it. It has to react bearish, right? So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a Tesla put option if we can crack that key level and turn it into resistance. If not, and it holds, then I'm going to wait until 865.65 and another even better level. The best level is 952.62. Those are the levels. Set your price alert to the resistance. Set your price alert to the key breakdowns. It is our job to identify if these key make it or break it levels that I'm giving you are support or are resistance. Once we determine that there's support or resistance, we take our scalp, we get in, we get out, we take our profits, and we never hold a loss longer than a win, and we cut the losses very, very quickly. If we can't be right at these levels, then we don't deserve to be even holding that long. We need to get stopped out rapid fire. So I'm giving you the best levels. If they can't work at these levels with the proper reactions and the confirmations I teach you guys, then you have to stop out very, very quickly. That's the name of the game. That's why I always tell you, wait for the reaction first, wait for the confirmation, then wait for the opposite to happen. Wait for it to bounce back up again, then get in on the best entry. That's how you got to do it. So I'm going to send an alert right here, at or below $813. This week, we're going to determine if that's a resistance or a support level. If it is a support level, I want nothing to do it. I want nothing to do with it, man. I'm telling you, we're in a bear market. I don't want to be scalping calls right now. I really don't. We're at a much higher resistance level. If I can do great scalping puts on an overall bullish week, which was last week, going 20 to 22 on SPY puts, why would I want to buy calls now when we're even higher and we know we're due for some sort of, we're due for some sort of bull trap, right? So why would I want to even scalp calls now that we're even higher? It just doesn't make sense. If I can do that good on an overall micro bullish week, even though we're in a bearish overall market, like, why would I switch to calls at these levels, even if it reacted as bullish? I would rather just sit on the sidelines and wait for more put opportunities like I was doing last week. So that's the game plan, man. I'm going to be a little bit more aggressive because we're at better levels. Our next stock is going to be Walmart. Another interesting setup here is going to be Walmart. So this one you could see right here, we got a lot of support. This wick is a key level with big upside potential, right? So $132. You can see it bottomed at 132. A lot of support at 133. Big upside, big upside. Well, it cracked. When it cracked, it was a bloodbath to 117, right? Now we're ripping back up, which is very normal. It's very normal for it to rip back up to previous support. So what are we likely to do since it already cracked that support? We are likely to turn that previous support into now a resistance level. So it is our job to determine if this is going to react as a resistance level. As of now, it has formed a bearish trend reversal candlestick. You could see right here, same candle right here. Overall went lower for the micro and then higher for the macro. Same candlestick right here at resistance, went lower for the micro. Same candlestick right here at resistance, went lower for the micro. This is the candlestick I'm talking about, this little trend reversal candlestick, right? I need you to see the value in this setup. We cracked a key support level, rapid sell-off, and then it pushes back up to previous support, make it or break it level, very likely to turn that previous support into resistance because it cracked. That is why. And there's multiple gaps to fill below. So if we can maintain this resistance, the level is going to be right here, $132. If 132 reacts as a resistance level, I want you to focus on Walmart puts. 132 reacts as a resistance level, focus on puts. Look at this. It already cracked. It bounced back up, and it's already trying to turn this bottom wick where it cracked from into resistance. Overall bearish, and I showed you how Walmart reacts. When Walmart forms this candlestick at resistance, this candlestick right here, right? What does it do for the micro? It likes to sell off. I'm not saying every stock is going to do this, but what I'm telling you is in terms of the pattern and chart history of Walmart, that's what it tends to do. You have to see in terms of the patterns that I share with you, you have to see visually for yourself. How does this stock react when it does this at this level, when it looks like this, when the candle, it's all visual. This is all visual. This is all visual. All the knowledge, this is from the charts. This is from the charts. It's from visually understanding how a stock reacts at a specific price with a specific confirmation, with a specific candlestick. It is all visually done from the charts. And each stock has a different reaction. Each stock has different charts, right? So you got to pay attention to that visually, that stock. And this is telling me that whenever Walmart has this move up, especially from previous support with a rapid sell-off, now bouncing back to try to turn into resistance, whenever it forms that candlestick, it forms it right here, micro little sell-off, right? Whenever it forms that candlestick, man, it just seems the overall direction for the micro right here, micro sell-off, right? It just seems to go down. So I want to bring some awareness to that. If 132 reacts to support and it holds, basically for Walmart to go bullish, it has to break above 133 and turn into support. And then you have the gap to fill above and you have big upside potential. Also set a price alert. This is a long-term alert where you're going to want to buy puts on. Best price, 147.50. These prices I'm giving you, all these price alerts I'm giving you, if you use how I use the confirmations and the reactions of how I teach to determine if it's support or resistance, You should easily make the cost of Trader Society before you even join Trader Society. These are the best setups at the best prices. These are the levels that I trade at. These are the levels that lead to my success. I'm going to share them with you. I'm going to show you how to trade them. You get to watch me trade them live every single day in Trader Society. Snapchat's a little interesting. I'm on the sidelines right now. It is a little interesting. Not looking to do much with it right now. Mainly on the sidelines. There is some gaps to fill. We got a gap to fill at 947. So I will see how it reacts at 947. Snapchat has, I believe that's the lowest gap to fill below in the oversold channel. And I believe the all-time lows are in the 490s. So I want to see how Snapchat reacts at 947. If it could turn 947 into support, I will be interested in scalping calls on Snapchat. So remember, bullish pins, 947, scalp calls on Snapchat to $10. META, one of the best setups that I'm seeing right now. I want to bring some awareness to this, man, because we're looking super bearish. So in terms of the best level for puts, same thing like Nvidia. Nvidia had the gap down once it filled the gap. Meta had the gap down once it filled the gap right here. Best level for puts, set a price alert, 183.17. But here's why Facebook is looking pretty bearish right now. It's looking pretty bearish. What I dislike about it is it just had such a big move down, so puts aren't as attractive as we're towards overall support. That's what I dislike about this. In terms of one of the reasons why I think it just still looks overall bearish, you can just see, man, like overall, this doesn't look that bullish. Like it just right here, it gaps down, it forms dark blue on the squeeze, sells off rapidly. Right here, just gap down, it formed dark blue on the squeeze. There's multiple gaps to fill below. Doesn't look that bullish. I'm kind of on the sidelines though right now because there's plenty of other stocks that are at better resistance levels. But set your price alert at that one. But Facebook doesn't look that bullish. Meta doesn't look that bullish overall. Phase, we're approaching an interesting level. So what I want you to understand about this one is, in terms of like key levels, your daily is 1315. This is your all-time high. During extended hours, it hits 1680. Right now, it's at 1426. So here's your make it or break it levels for phase. 1350 is going to be a make it or break it level. If we can stay above 1350, we're overall bullish for a push back to that 17. But first, we would need to stay above this level right here, this $14 level. 14 to 13 needs to hold and turn into support. If it can, we should see a run up to 16 to the mid 16s. If $13 cracks and turns into resistance, this is over and it will be a micro pump and dump and get crushed if that occurs, right? So basically, if 13 holds, we're overall bullish. If it cracks and turns into resistance, we're super bearish. $14 we need to break out and turn into support to push back for new all-time highs, which is currently at 1680 in extended hours. Just something on my radar, man. I'm just keeping it on my radar, man. At some point, I'm going to keep this very close on my radar. You better believe there's going to be a phenomenal put option opportunity on this trash stock, right? So you better believe that, once we get towards a key resistance level, towards some very nice resistance on on phase, and it forms these bearish confirmations, you better believe I'm going to be looking to swing trade put options for a nice bearish move. If it even has enough liquidity or volume to do that, we'll see. But it should overall. Roblox, I think we're getting safe to say where it's just bearish, man. It's just bearish. In terms of where it looks like we're at, it looks like we're crunching at the top, and it's just a matter of time before it sells off. Like I told you guys in my previous videos, I prepared you guys to get in at the top. Like I said, 41.25. Go back, watch my previous videos. That's where I said about the puts. For the gap to fill below, swing trade 32.86. What I'm thinking with Roblox is, I'm thinking, we've had the confirmations. I'm thinking it's about that time where you can just swing trade puts. I would say give your contracts like 30 days, 45 days, 55 days. The strike price, $40 strike, at the money, barely in the money, stay at like an at the money, in the money strike. 30 to 55 days, I think you'll be fine passively swing trading those. I think we've gotten enough confirmations that Roblox is officially bearish overall. What I'm seeing on this one is, I'm seeing crunch at the top, fills the gap, bearish wicks, reacts to resistance, a lot of crunch, a lot of chop. I personally think Roblox wants to go to 32.86 by the end of August, and I'm bearish on it. It flips bullish if 42 turns into support. It is bullish. Right now, super bearish. but not right away. It's going to take weeks. But 30, I would value this at 32.86. As long as it stays under 42, I would value it at 32.86 for those midterm swing trade puts. Apple's at an interesting level, just like Walmart. It cracked key support, started pushing lower. Now it ripped back up. There's a gap to fill right here at 157.28. In terms of the chart on Apple, 156.28. It missed the gap fill by $1. Best price to buy Apple puts is $157.28. Best price to buy SPY puts, 401.44. Overall, we could be setting up for that move where it reacts. If it reacts as a resistance, we're going to start to see a downtrend. Just waiting for some more confirmations on that. But remember, if these key resistance levels where puts are the most attractive at react to support and break above, you need to anticipate that the move will turn bullish and it will push to fill the next gap, which would be at 166.02, which will fill if, once 158.26 reacts to support, breaks above, turns bullish, then we see the gap fill 166.02, which is the true best price for puts. So just remember, I'm giving you the best levels. If they react bearish, play puts. If it doesn't work out, stop out quickly. If you want, you could switch sides. I'm not interested in switching sides. The higher we're going with this whole call move, the less attractive it is to me for calls, because I don't want to chase in a bear market. I would much rather just wait for the bull traps. Siga is a little interesting. Not seeing much with this one. People are talking about how it can benefit from the monkeypox situation. We gap down, we form this bearish candlestick. Looks like a similar move right here. We can go a little bit lower, then it starts to rocket back up. Don't have much of an opinion on it right now. I would like to see how it reacts, I'd say. Probably towards $10.50, $11, right around there, see how it reacts. Best level for calls would be $7.39. That won't happen until a while. But yeah, that's going to be it, guys. So the best setups into this week: SPY, Nvidia, Tesla, Walmart, Snapchat. I'm telling you, don't sleep on that 947 level. Let's see, phase at some point will be a good put. Roblox, Apple, those are going to be the top setups. My main focus into this week is going to be SPY. Roblox is getting pretty interesting to me as well. And we got a lot of great setups. It's going to be a great week, guys. I'm telling you, without a doubt, this week should be better than last week, and the portfolio is up 21% plus from last week since the small account challenge started. Every single day has been a green day. Traded every single day last week while I'm sick. I'm pretty much better for the most part now. Still a tiny bit sick, but overall I feel so much better. So I got over that pretty quickly. And yeah, this should be a really great week. So you can get started with us live tomorrow at Market Open. You can trade live with me tomorrow at Market Open. One of the only Discords that trades their portfolios live on stream, and also is now from now on going to be on the voice channel. The voice channel is how you get a real-time trade alert and real-time commentary. Live streams have delays, videos have delays, typing out alerts and typing messages have delays. What doesn't have a delay? If it was like me and you were on the phone together having a conversation, which you can ask me questions on the voice channel. You can share with the team your thoughts and your trades on the voice channel, right? You can do these things. You don't have to keep your mic muted. Just be respectful to others and, let one another talk. Don't talk over people. But, real-time voice alerts, real-time commentary, answer your questions live on spot during the live train sessions, during the voice channels. Also get access to the video lesson library. That is where you will learn the unique gap trading strategies that I created, learn how to trade price action both ways, learn how to trade options both ways. I'm telling you, once you learn and master how to trade these options, that's the game changer. It's not in stocks. You want to trade shares, you want to trade stocks, you're going to need millions to make nice money trading stocks, unless you're full porting the portfolio. And even if you're doing that, you're still going to need a lot of money in the account. So with that being said, with options, if you understand how risk management and position sizing works, and if you understand how to use my strategy, you would realize it's actually the way I do it. I'm minimizing my risk by trading the options. I'm putting in so much less capital, and I'm making much bigger percentage returns because of the volatility and the perfect entries and the timing of the option contracts that I'm selecting. It's very low risk the way I trade them, and I get out very, very quickly. Win or loss, I'm out within minutes. Typically, it's a very quick scalp. Make quick 10, 20%, sometimes 20, 50%. Rapid fire, 10% of my portfolio into one contract, into one position, 20% of my portfolio into one position, 10% return on a 10% return on a contract, which can happen within a minute on a same day expiration with SPY. and you put in 10% of your portfolio, that's a 1% return, just like that. Pull out a compound interest calculator, 2% return compounded daily. You'll be shocked on how fast the small account can turn into 6 figures. And then once you get to 6 figures, how fast it can turn into 7 figures. So with that being said, if you want to learn how to trade the best setups at best prices, you want to learn the unique gap trading price action strategies I have, you want to learn risk management, position sizing, psychology, mindset to trading, you want to learn this unique strategy I have where my edge is trading the options, it's risk management, position sizing, my entries, the perfect timing, the perfect confirmations, when to get in, when to get out, where to set the stop loss, where to set the price target, where to set the mental stop loss, right? If you want to learn all this on how I trade, how I've mastered this, it's all within the first link in the description. Sign up, instant access, and you also, for a limited time only, get access to the small account challenge. For a lifetime, you get access to the video lesson library, to the Discord server, to the voice channel, to the networking opportunities within Trader Society, to the real-time trade alerts, the real-time live streams that we do every single day at Market Open, the voice channels, the watch list, the stock analysis, get your questions answered live on spot. There's so much more. There's so much more to it. If you want to be a part of it, it is going to be first link in the description. I will see you guys tomorrow live at Market Open. I'm looking forward to crushing. I'm telling you, this is going to be a green week, and I'm looking forward to it. And there should be a swing trade this week as well with the larger account. The small account shall continue. I will see you guys tomorrow live at Market Open on the voice channel.